Hello, welcome to Bars and Bells. My name is Ian. I'm filling in for Lauryn today in the strength and swing class, and beside me, I have a kettlebell that I'm ready to press and do some get-ups with, and then another kettlebell that I'm ready to do some swings with. Do you have a lightweight and a heavyweight, or are you just using one? Both are okay, but today my volume will be for something that's a little bit lighter, and then something that's also a little bit heavier. First, we'll start with the wrists and the head neck from an all fours position. I'll do my quarter turn and check in from there. On hands and knees, look between the hands and then lightly forward, extending the neck. And then pull the chin to the chest as the crown of the head goes long. Do a very gentle head neck bend. Forward, extension, checking out how that feels in extension, and then into flexion. And hopefully the only thing that's moving is my head neck. From there, I'll casually get an ear towards the shoulder and pull down on that side to go the other. My right ear is towards my right shoulder, and I'm going to feel some tension on that side before I pull and flex the other way. And same thing, pull to the left to go right, and then one more time to center. Lastly, a rotation. Turn to the camera and say hello, and then lengthen out the crown of the head long as you rotate to the other side. Lengthen out, and one more time, rotating over my left shoulder to say hello, looking with the face and not the eyeballs up to the ceiling. Lengthen out one more time, rotating through center, and then return looking at the hands. Press off those hands, flick the wrists. Did the wrists feel okay in extension there? From there, let's get into the hips. In the hips, set up a lunge, hike a hip, level a hip, tuck a hip, tip a hip. Figure out those hip shapes. From here, could we open up to the side? Now we'll set up that hip hinge. Go two hands on the floor. For this exercise, I'll take away my left hand as my left leg is out to the side. I'm going to keep looking at the hand as you rotate the shoulders. Then keep the head in the same position, looking at that hand on the ground, and try to take that other shoulder and cross the body. Repeat one more time. Like our get up, we'll have that nice proud packed shoulder, allowing ourselves to rotate, and then pull ourselves back down to level out, and then extend those hips forward. Take a stride to the front, and as a challenge, could we keep contact with the floor and slide that leg right underneath? Other side, same thing. In our hips, we want to check out the hike, the level, the tuck and the tip, and find the best of all those places in center, and then open up a leg to the side. From here, we'll hinge onto all fours in a different position here. Take the hand of the leg out to the side. In that case, it's my right, across your chest. Keep the head and face looking at the hand, rotating the shoulders. Then close those shoulders to parallel with the ground, and then maybe even try to go lower. For one more time, screw that hand in as you reach and press away. Keep the eyes and face on the hand on the floor, and then pull and rotate to center. From there, extend the hip through, bring the foot to the front, and again, extend the hip of the back leg, and as that challenge, try to bring that leg underneath with never leaving the floor. Let's get into those shoulders just a little bit more from all fours. Pause for 1 second. With your hands out front, extend those wrists. Imagine your hands are on the floor. Now elevate or shrug the shoulders. Push the shoulders forward. Pull them down, and then retract. Same thing one more time from the back. It would look like elevate up, protract forward, pull down, and then retract. Let's get back on all fours here. Hovering the knees would add tension and load, so that's what I'm going to do. Join me if you need, or just stay on the knees for a nice regression. Elevate, shrug the shoulder, push the floor away, Pull the armpits low. Pull together in retraction. One more time. Shrug or elevate. From the armpit, drive down. Pull down to the hips. Retract. And then just rest. Maybe a first knuckle push-up in there. Keep the head nice and long. One more time in the opposite direction. We'll elevate the knees, loading up those shoulders over wrists. Shoulders are squeezed together, and now pull them down to the hips, and then push the floor away. Shrug, elevate, retract. One more time. Pull low, push the floor away. Shrug, elevate, retract, and then on the knees. How's it going? Time to use that kettlebell. Are you familiar with that arm bar? I'll set it up as we talk ourselves through. So for the arm bar, I have my lighter of the two loads for today, practicing our mobility and that stability through the shoulder. Like Lauryn says, it all starts with that cuddle. We're gonna pack our shoulder and give that kettlebell a solid cuddle. Hello. From there, we'll roll to the back or the firing range and then press. On our backside, take the other arm over the overhead and make sure that we extend or push through the hip. From here, hook a foot, place on the ground, and explore that stability of screwing that shoulder blade in, or that mobility in through the hips and the T-spine to explore the rotation, the stack, and then maybe work that other arm overhead. And last one, roll across the floor, load up that shoulder blade, stack hips, return to your back, two hands on, and pull down to the hip. And then a cuddle. Same thing on the other side. Little mic adjustment, and the cuddle. How's your bell feeling today? As I said last week, it's been a little bit since my practice, so it's nice to catch up with these basics and just make sure it feels safe and strong in that hand. The arm overhead, and again, the hip extension. Push through the floor. Make sure you're balanced. Hook a foot on that knee. Challenge that overhead position. And again, spread out. Reach away from center as allowed. And then come back to stacked hips. Shoulder blades screw in. And then maybe one more of that reach to stack to our back, and then pull it down to the body. Let's go straightening things out in that plank, that hard style planks position. So staying low on those elbows. Ooh, that's a little close, I'm sorry. In that plank, on those elbows, hips up nice and high. And 10 seconds of tension, meaning elbows are pulled to hips, bum squeezing, core brace, breathing, 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 maybe a chin tuck in there. Gentle on the knees, come down to the floor. A little bit of an extension exercise in between. Keep your face facing the ground, and then try to lift your sternum off the ground while tucking the hips into the floor. I hope that feels safe on the low back and challenging through the mid back and the shoulder blades. And relax. Let's get those forearms going again. Modified position could be fine in that plank as well, but then lengthen out, tighten up, and check in on your form, making sure there's a nice straight line. 5, 4, 3, 2, and then down to the ground. Let's flip over on our backside. A little mobility get up like last week, but this time, think press. So take an imaginary kettlebell, fist to the ceiling, extend through the hip, pull on the elbow. From here, pull as if you're doing a press and try to connect your elbow to your hip, and then back to a press. From there, get to the hand. Navigate the kettlebell at your side. From here, same thing, pull that elbow towards the hip, keep the fist stacked over the elbow and wrist, and back up to press. Bridge, sweep, you know what's coming up. This is the hardest position. Bring the elbow towards the hip, Maybe this is a bent press one day, and then we press away. Tall position, we'll skip a press here. However, do a press here, pull to rack, and hop to press, and then spread the ground, push away, and stand tall. Keep the arm overhead as we descend in that lunge to get up one last time. Down in the lunge, open the rotate and hinge, lengthen out, sweeps, elbow, counterbalance down. Switch your side, repeat the same thing for the presses at each phase. Extend through the hip with the shoulder roll and pull on the ground. First press, pull through those lats, armpits to the hip, and then back to a press. At the tall sit, same thing. Pull that elbow to the hip and drive tall. Then press through the hand to the elbow. From here, same thing. Pull that elbow towards the hip, hold the lat, cramp. And then from there, drive tall, push away, lunge square, pull your imaginary load, and push, and then push the floor away. And then same thing on that get up down, the leg you can touch to the floor, open, hinge, sweep through, find an elbow, and then counterbalance away. While we're on the floor here, let's go one more time in that hard style plank. Forearms here, and think about the top plank's position for strength here. Swings position for your strength here. All right, let's go. 10 seconds, we're in it. 10, 9, squeezing bums, bracing core, pulling elbows for 3 and 2, and just easy on that off. Take your time coming up anyhow you want. Maybe have a sip of water. Maybe you drink all your water before or after. Stay loose and have some fun. So here I have my 2 kettlebells set up. Light, and then heavy. What I'll do here is set up a nice little set of swings with my light bell, and then go over to my heavy bell. If you don't have 2 bells, that's okay. Just do 2 sets of 5 with your single load. Check it out. Here we go. Set up your hip hinge, and do your 5 swings. I pull, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and there's our 5. And I'm probably not wearing the right hair elastic today. I hope I don't have to do that all day. But my 5 swings felt pretty good there. I used that tension at the top, that power breath through the chop on the hinge. Did your first set feel good and strong? If it did, let's do another one. Set up the hinge. Pack the shoulders. Pull. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, I think that felt pretty good too. Nice regressions, if you're not interested in swinging today, include setting up your hinge, packing shoulders, and using your deadlift, and down. Similar adaptations or modifications could be our chop and pop. Chop, chop, pop. Lots of options. Let's get a little bit of our conditioning moment right here for the next 5 minutes. We're going to swing on the 30 seconds. I'm going to swing 5 bells here and 5 there. Follow? Let's do it. In 5, 4, 3, 2, and go. 1, 2. There's my 5. And I'll park it. Shake it out. 5 swings might take about 10 seconds. So you have a little bit extra time here to shake it out. Say that felt really good, or modify accordingly. And I'm going to go here and do 5 swings again with the heavier one. In 3, 2, pull, 5. Park. Lauryn's going through my head right now. Breathe through your nose. My conditioning is improving. Not quite like Lauryn's, but breathe into that nose as much as you can. I think 5 swings felt really good. So I'm going to add 1. Join me for 5 or plus 1. Here we go for 6. 1. There's 6. And then park. You add a rep, you get a little bit less rest. One of those interesting ways to use the same load, but increase that intensity of your workout or your aerobic conditioning. We have 8 seconds left, and I can hear myself breathing into my mouth. I'm just trying to breathe in through that nose. Here we go. 6 reps. Here we go. Tell it that it's okay. I'm trying to tell myself the very same things here as you recover. You have 10 seconds more. Did 5 feel okay? Did you add 1 to 6? Let's add another 1 to 7. 3, 2. And then park. Whew. So again, those rest intervals, they creep up, but we're staying loose in between, breathing into that nose as we can, and within 5 seconds, we'll do the same thing with either the heavier bell or just the same one you have at home. 3, 2, and go. Nice. All right. What goes up doesn't always come down in this sort of fashion, but I love going up to a challenging number and coming back home to a nice strong number like that 5. We get a couple extra seconds rest, and then I'm going to go back down to 6. So come on back down to 6 reps here. 6 reps, feeling strong. What are your numbers? We always like to know. Comment section, live chat right here. How are your skills? Can you talk like me? I'm barely keeping it together, all honesty out there. Here we go, our number 6. And park. Whew. I love when you go back down, you get more rest. So you have about 10 seconds more rest here. Take your breath. It's so silly to stay shaky in between. And if you shake too much, it zaps your energy, but it also is able to stay loose and strong for the last set of 5. Here we go. And park. Whew. The shake, the conditioning feels good. Bike riding is beautiful, but it ain't nothing on this kettlebell swing. This is intense. So here we go. This is our last set. You want to set up that hinge, finish strong, just like you started. Here we go. Last set of 5 swings. 1. And 5. Park. Do your hair. Get a drink. Take a second. Calm it down. I'm going to join you with some breathing drills, just like my mentor, Lauryn, tells me. And here we go. You can stand or sit in any position ready for you, but with the mouth closed, breathe into the belly. It's hard, I know. Let's do it. Big belly. Exhale. Big belly, and then chest. And then exhale. Again, take a big belly. And then a chest. And then 2 more here. 4-second belly breath. Chest breath. Exhale. And 1 more time. Convince your body with your breath, things are okay. And as I was admitting to some self-struggles in those swings, breathing is that hard too. But we have our bells now. I'm gonna put my heavy bell away. I did what I want with it. I got my heavy swings going, challenged my swing reps. And now we're gonna focus on some bodyweight legs, like our squats and lunges, with some upper body, push pressing, etc. Here we go. You're all rested up. Let's take that heavy one out of the way. And again, we all have that kettlebell that we could use all day. The one you can press for 5. You might be able to press it for 10 if you need a special occasion, but nothing too heavy right now. Focus on the quality of those reps. So let's rack it first and go for a quick walk. So in that racks position, or excuse me, to get into the racks position, I set up my pinky side on that kettlebell, 2 hands on, set up my hinge, pull it, hike it into that rack. Hold it here for a moment. Does that feel safe and strong? Maybe go for a walk with it, again, backwards, sideways, or forwards. And then root those feet, return to the ground, come up barehanded. Same thing on the other side. Set up your hike, pull it to the rack, and go for our walk. Making sure the forearm is vertical, just outside the chest, steps forward, steps back, and steps side to side will all help build the strength, awareness, and stability for other moves. And down, and shake it out. You can do the same thing with that overhead press movement. So it's cheek clean to rack, 1 single press, and go for the walk. Hike pass, and press. And again from here, take strides front, back, side to side. Challenge that stability. And make that load as safely heavy as you can by making the down slow and control. Then 2 hands return. We'll shake in the middle, set up the hike, and clean, and then a press, to press, and again our slow and steady, or slow and steadying walk. Front and back, side to side. Draw a box, zigzag, move around, and then pull to the rack, and then down. Okay, so we're gonna do some load stuff. How did that feel? Do you need a lighter bell? Body weight grooves? Check it out, use that tension and strength. But first, some body weight lunges. I'll do that quarter turn to the side. From here, we'll take our step into the drop and place in a position where we know or build the awareness to have 90 degrees at the knees when we descend. We'll take 10 seconds to go low, starting now. As we go low, we're pulling in that front leg and extending the hip in the back. Take time to have the knee rest on the floor. Pull into center as we scissor, and then push away as we stand back up. Keep the front shin vertical. One more time. The hips are tucked, the front leg is pulling in, and the back hip is pushing forward. A nice, slow repetition of a lunge. Then from there, pull in and push away as we drive to tall. Same thing on the other side. Standing tall, drop back into lunge. Pull the front leg in as you extend or push the back hip forward. Descend into that lunge with control, keeping that front shin as vertical as possible. From there, continue to scissor in, but then press the front foot forward, back leg back, and grow tall out of that lunge. One more time, same side. Pull the front leg in, extend that back hip forward with a butt squeeze, and squeeze it again, and then again, and pull in that front leg. Once you get safely to the ground, continue the scissor in, but then push forward through the front and grow to stand tall. 2 reps of a lunge, we'll do that in a second. Like we went up and down with those reps on our swings, I'd like to do the same thing in regards to our press. I'll be starting at the number 3, second set 4, and then 5s, back to 4s and 3s. Join me if you want, or find your own 1, 2, 3, 2, 1. Let's do it. Sets of presses first. Hike pass, clean, up, 1. Inhale down, up, 2. Inhale down, yep, 3. So that's my 3 to start. Hike pass and park. Same thing on the other side. Let's set up the hinge, hike past the clean, rack, up for 1, 2, and 3. Slow underneath the bell, return to the floor. One more time in those lunges, also for 2. Step back into your lunge stride, scissoring those hips, and 10, 9, 8, squeeze that back leg for 3, 2, safe descend, push the front leg forward, back leg back, stand tall out of the lunge. One more time, front leg in, back leg forward, scissoring those hips as we descend into our lunge, and then press forward through the front, back to tall and under. Wiggle in between as you go, hey. And then the same thing on the other side. Step behind, hips forward, and pull in that front leg. Condition that that front shin is so vertical for this drill, nice and tall. From here, push forward and stand. And then one more time, same thing. Squeeze the back butt cheek, hip extension. Pull in on the front. Make room if you need to. And nice and slow, return to the ground. From there, push forward, back, and come up. Rest in between. But from there, go back to that kettlebell. And again, I'm aiming for 4 reps. Did 3 my first time. I'm going to add 1 to get to 4. I give myself a little pep talk, and then let's do it. Here we go. Pull, clean, press for 1. Core tension high. Yep. 3, 4. Rack. And down. Shake it out in between sets again. And the same thing on the other side. Hike pass. Pull to rack for 1, 2. Nice. So early in the warm-up, do that get up with a press where we pulled to the hip. And again, in that rack and clean to pressed position, think about connecting elbow to the hip and driving up off that. From our squat or our lunge this way, let's work on our squats that way, sorry. So from tall, push your feet down into the ground and push the hips forward. Pull the heels together and then continue pulling the heels together that your knees actually bend and you sit low into your squat. From here, push the feet down and out into the ground. Get heavy underfoot. Stay where you are, but just chill, if that's possible. And then could you sit a little bit lower? From here, continue to drive those feet out for 5 seconds. Stay right where you are. Build intensity in this horse stance, goddess pose, you name it. Relax, sink a little lower. And now, drive energy into the feet. Stand up nice and tall, fully extending those hips. We're just going to do that once. So we'll shake that out, and we'll come back to our load. 3s to 4s for my final set here, the apex of the set being 5. Hike pass. Prep with my breath. For 1, 2. I look up just a little bit. I want that bell to go up. Don't look at the ground. Look straight up. Straight ahead or slightly up. And down. And I usually do talk to myself when I work out too. It's okay. Tell yourself what you're doing really well. Tell yourself what you want to get better at. And put attention into your abs and glutes. Let's do it. Hike pass. 5 reps for me. 1. Nice. 5 can be a huge number. How are your numbers? Feeling good at 5? I love 5s. Maybe the occasional 10s, but 5s are the best. Here we go. Set up your squat. One last time. Pull those heels together. Nice and slow as you descend. Then push those feet out for 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2. Stay there, but chill. Could you sink a little bit lower? And from this position, push those feet down and out. Should get harder and harder as you go through. We're going to hang on to that for 2 more seconds and then relax and maybe sink low. And for the last one, push the feet down and out. Stand up between 2 window panes here. Fully extend the hips and then shake. We're back to those presses. 3s, 4s, 5s. So now we're coming back down. Nice modest number like 4 here again. Staying strong both the right and left sides. Hike pass. Pull the rack. 1 press. 2. 3. Bum squeeze abs on. 4. Rack. And down. Something I saw the other day watching myself online, critiquing form, making sure our lighting's okay, which we're always working on. It was this offhand. It was kind of limp. Find that tension. Make that fist. Stay nice and strong. Here we go. Other side. Also 4 reps. 1. 4. Awesome. And down. And a little bit of choose your own adventure. Personally, I need more work in my lunge, so I'm going to do 1 each side. What about you? Join me in the lunge or join yourself in that squat. Challenge that strength and say hello to those hips. Okay, lunge stance. Here we go. I'm going to pull myself down over 10, 9. Vertical shin in the front, hip extension in the back, scissoring in. So many cues and working on making it just right. Now push forward, stand up tall, push off the back leg, carry through. 1 last rep on the other side if you're in this with the lunge, or how's that squat going? Lunge step, back hip forward, pulling the front one in, descend with control, and then push forward to stand up and relax. 1 more set of our press here. Back down to that original number, 1, 2, 3. 3 presses. Hike pass, clean, press for 1, 2, 3. Great. Feels like I could do more, and I love finishing my workout like that because you can, and you probably have to, even if it's nighttime here. Hike pass, pull for 3. And pull to rack. And down. And shake it out. Oh, yeah. So I'm not sure what you and Lauryn normally finish with this hour, but that's about it for me. I'm going to finish with my breath. Breathe in the nose, out the nose. We've been focused on our breath since pre-COVID era. And it's really interesting to play with our breath here. So join me on a back or a position that's comfortable for you. It'll take about 4 breaths together to finish. A hand on the belly and a hand on the chest. For 4 seconds, take a breath into the belly. And exhale. Now take a 4-second chest breath. And exhale. Now breathe into the belly for 4. Hold for 4. Exhale. Now breathe into the belly for 4. Hold for 4. And think chest breath for 4. Exhale. 1 more time. a belly breath for 4, a pause for 4, and a chest breath in and out. Use breathing drills to relax or prepare your body for exercise or from your favorite outdoor pursuit. It's been beautiful here in Guelph, Ontario for the past 3 days. T-shirt weather in November. A little bit different, and that's okay, but the winter is coming. But we'll be here. Thank you for your time today at the Strength and Swing session, and we look forward to sharing more with you at our programming. Visit barresandbells.com, subscribe on YouTube, take care, and stay strong. Goodbye.